she's a pastor's wife. There's a way that, according, to how we all believe, or what the word tells us, that there is a way. And that didn't look like modesty. I believe the same thing that Pastor Wooden said. If you was doing this and we was at home, you want to dress like that for me. But I could say so much about what all led up to this, from the Pastor Jamal Bryant period aspect of this whole conversation. Yeah.
So you mentioned Pastor Bryant as a personality, right? Because we know him for being on the internet. He has a podcast where he doesn't just talk to pastors. He doesn't just talk to religious people. He talks to entertainers and people that are involved in pop culture, even some people that are a little bit controversial in pop culture. So do you think that his personal brand and who he is as a pastor and his perception as a pastor, do you think that some of how people feel about him is rolling off onto his wife into this moment? Cassandra, what do you think about that? Cassandra, can you hear me? You stuck? Oh, well, what about you, Deborah? Do you think that she's getting a little bit of flack because of who her husband is and kind of how he's transcended the religious space, right? Jamal Bryant is also kind of like almost like a culture icon he's becoming.
I believe that Dr. Carey she already had her type of fly style dressing way. And it's just enhanced even more with the two of them together, because he always controversially dressed. He doesn't dress like a normal pastor would dress. He's definitely into the labels, and he wears it every time he's, in the pulpit. That's just him. And I believe that she was already like that as well. So it's just magnified. They're magnified together now in the fashion industry and in the church. So yeah.
A lot of people were talking about that, just talking about how, Jamal Bryant is known for fashion and his wife is known for dressing. Jamal Bryant's previous wife is a member of the one of the Housewives franchise, and she's known as a woman that's into fashion and dressing as well. But do you think that, because you mentioned it, Dr. Angeline, about kind of being chaste in the church and what is appropriate, do you think that women's bodies are treated as property inside of religious spaces? Do you think that there's more policing of women's bodies in religious spaces than there are in other spaces, I guess?
That's a great question. I believe women's bodies are policed everywhere. I believe, and does it happen in the church? Absolutely. I also think, from a biblical perspective, that where a lot of these pastors are drawing criticism from the world is your brand is supposed to be the brand of kingdom. So are you trying to address the world, or are you trying to address Christ, right? Who are you selling? And I think that's where a lot of their controversy came from, especially with Jamal Bryant. When you look at his past and some of the perverseness of who he is and how he sometimes represents himself and carries himself. I mean, when you have celebrities right now, it's not even the church only that's going for him. It's celebrities. I was really shocked to see that myself, how many celebrities. You just had T.I. talk about his church being like a strip club. I was like, what in the world is happening over there? But not surprised.